Eli Turner once walked with pride in his U.S. Army uniform, spined straight, boots polished, heart full of purpose. At 68, though, he drifted like smoke through the crumbling town of Briarfield, Indiana, a place where time sagged on broken street lamps and abandoned diners. He was more shadow than man, just another forgotten soul tucked between the cracks of a country that no longer saw him. Every morning, Eli shouldered his old duffel bag, faded, patched, and falling apart like the rest of him, and made his way down side streets. He'd lost his footing in life the day his wife, Joanna, died. Her cancer had gone undiagnosed far too long by the underfunded VA clinic. He'd watched her wither, helpless. When she passed, Eli sold their home and donated everything to the local animal shelter in her name. Then he simply vanished, not from the earth, but from memory. He lived with quiet grit, scavenging cans, picking up scrap, sleeping wherever the wind allowed. He never begged, never asked. Places like Miriam's Cafe would slip him a cup of hot coffee and the occasional stale croissant. Everyone else either looked past him or looked away. Then came December. The snow hit Briarfield like a hammer, cold and unrelenting. Eli's coat, a leftover from his active duty days, was frayed and thin. His boots leaked slush. After days without food, his hands trembled so badly he could barely close them. On the third day of hunger, he stepped inside Randy's Market, a crumbling grocery with flickering lights and the scent of bleach clinging to old apples. His eyes fell on the clearance bin, bruised fruit and half-stale rolls. His stomach clawed at him. The store owner, Mr. Randy himself, was helping a customer. The teenage stock boy was at the back. No one saw, so Eli, heart pounding, slipped a small apple and a crusty roll into his jacket. His hands were too cold to zip it. He was nearly at the door when Randy's voice exploded behind him. "Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing?" Eli froze. Within minutes, the police were there. Officer Jamal Harris and Officer Claire Mendoza. Harris was all bark, shouting into the radio. Mendoza, quieter, noticed the dog tags around Eli's neck. "You served?" she asked softly. Eli gave a tired nod. Long ago, when it still counted. But policy was policy. So, in front of a dozen shoppers, Eli Turner was handcuffed and taken away for stealing an apple and a roll. His mugshot said it all. Deep lines, hollow eyes, and the burden of a nation that had once saluted him, now pretending he didn't exist. That night, in a holding cell that smelled of bleach and despair, Eli unfolded a battered photograph from his shirt. Joanna's smile still shone, despite the wrinkles and creases in the image. "I'm trying, Joe," he whispered into the dark. "I really am." The Briarfield courthouse buzzed with fluorescent lights and quiet misery the next morning. Eli shuffled in with the rest, shackled and silent. His jacket hung limp off his shoulders. No one waited on the benches, no lawyer beside him. Just his duffel, tucked between his worn boots, like it could still protect him. The clerk read the docket like it was a grocery list. Case 1417B, State of Indiana versus Eli Turner. The prosecutor, Daniel Blake, young, fresh-faced, with ambition sharp as a razor, off his charges without blinking, caught stealing, prior citations, trespassing, loitering, no address, no income. The state recommends remand until trial. At the bench sat Judge Malcolm Reeves, a man with a steel-gray beard, wire-rimmed glasses, and a stack of arrest reports he flipped through like mail. Then something fell loose from the file. A worn military dog tag. It clinked against his bench. Reeves looked down. "Turner, Eli M." U.S. Army. He stopped breathing. Something stirred a memory buried under decades. Kuwait, 1991. Operation Desert Storm. Smoke, heat, chaos, and a soldier dragging him from the wreckage of a burning convoy. That soldier had been Eli Turner. Reeves stood. Recess. 5 minutes. He didn't wait for approval. The courtroom blinked. The clerk froze. Eli sat down slowly, confused, while Reeves retreated to his chambers with the dog tag in hand. There, Judge Reeves stared at it like a ghost. He opened Eli's record. Honorably discharged. Bronze Star, Purple Heart, Combat Commendations, a stack of medals, and then the line that burned into Reeves' soul. Benefits terminated, no fixed address. Case closed, filed away, forgotten. God help us, Reeves whispered. He picked up the phone. The next morning, Eli returned in shackles. He expected another silent shame parade. Instead, the courtroom was full. Veterans, soldiers, men and women in uniform. A crowd lined the back, holding flags and wearing jackets with faded insignias. At the defense table stood a woman in a tailored suit. She turned and smiled gently. "Staff Sergeant Turner," she said. "Rebecca Chen, Veterans Legal Defense Network. I'm here for you." Eli blinked. I can't pay." "You don't need to. You already paid enough." Judge Reeves took the bench with calm authority. "This court has reviewed new evidence regarding Mr. Turner's military service. He is to receive full representation, effective immediately." The prosecutor, Blake, opened his mouth, but Reeves silenced him with a look. Then a man in Army dress uniform took the stand. Colonel Marcus Hill. He laid out Eli's record, his bravery, his injuries, the system's failure to treat his PTSD, the bureaucratic nightmares that had stripped him of care and dignity. "This was not a mistake," Colonel Hill said. "It was a betrayal." The courtroom didn't clap, but it didn't need to. Judge Reeves nodded solemnly. "This man is not a criminal. He is a hero, and this court will no longer be party to his injustice." Charges dismissed. With prejudice, the gavel struck, and then everyone stood. No applause, just silence and salutes. As Eli walked free, the bailiff said softly, "You're free to go, sir, sir." It nearly brought Eli to his knees. Then someone rushed from the crowd. Uncle Eli, a young woman, threw her arms around him. "It's me, Rachel, Joanna's niece. I've been looking for you since you disappeared." He clutched her like a lifeline. He wasn't alone anymore. Outside, Judge Reeves approached quietly. "You saved my life once, Sergeant," he said, voice thick. "Now, let me help you rebuild yours." Within weeks, Eli's VA benefits were reinstated. A $280,000 back pay check arrived. More importantly, he received medical care, housing, and therapy. Briarfield held a ceremony that month. They called it A Soldier Returns. Children waved flags. Veterans dusted off uniforms. Eli, dressed in a clean coat over his army dress, stepped onto the stage. "I didn't fight for thanks," he said. "I fought so no one would be left behind. And today, you showed me that maybe, just maybe, we haven't forgotten that." That evening, he sat on a park bench beside Rachel. A golden retriever service dog, gifted by a foundation, rested at his feet. He pulled out Joanna's old photo and smiled at it. "I found my way back," he whispered, "just like you said I would." And above Briarfield, the first star appeared, just one, but it was enough.